started. And what is it with today? 3 in a row, Cursed Hollow.
Well, it almost feels like it's like a couple of months ago where just Cursed Hollow was every single map we ever casted ever. And if it went to like game number 2, it was always Dragonshire. But I'm not going to complain. I love Cursed Hollow. It's a good map. It gives us a lot of tactics and talking points, I'd have to say, because it's one of the most rounded out maps that exists.
All right, so we've seen this before. Jaina and Leoric has bans, but this lets us a Zeratul through, and it is going to be a quick pickup here from Tuark to pick up our lonely Protoss, who's getting nerfed next round. But, drink him in while you can. Zeratul on Cursed Hollow. Now, it feels like it's going to be a bit more of a roamy comp, a bit more of a battle comp here from Tuark. And finally, an Uther first pick.
Yeah, these are things. Everything's going completely to the wind of what we actually have seen in the last couple of games, except for Kael'thas still being in the first couple of picks. Jaina being banned out, because I don't think we've even seen a Jaina. I don't think we've seen a Jaina today. Not even banned.
She has. I don't think she has any bans. No, first game was a ban. It was Jaina Zeratul, which led us into Leoric. Right. Now, of course, that Johanna wasn't picked up. It's going to... Oh, God. I think we know what's going to happen here. Johanna's going to be the quick pickup, and then Malfurion to follow that immediately. So, Tuark's not chancing Momentum banning out their preferred support, but with an Uther on the other side, are we still going to see that... we can't see a triple warrior in a Zeratul. That just doesn't make any sense.
No, we can't possibly see that. Unless they go crazy. What we could possibly see from Momentum is a handful of different either roaming compositions or even something like an Illid and Abathur in the next couple of picks. Tuark right now, they've got to decide what they want to ban away from Uther, because Uther is incredibly strong at a lot of different compositions. They want to decide which composition they don't want to deal with. Abathur, I think, probably would be the best ban here.
You think Abathur? Because they could easily go into like an Abathur Illidan that has come back a little bit into the meta, but no, it's going to be a Nubarak. They don't want a chance. Right. They don't want a chance to double warrior with a Cocoon, I suppose.
Yeah, the Cocoon, of course, would be really strong. Momentum can still go to that triple warrior composition here as well, so we might just see a double warrior pickup here.
Double warrior Rainer would be fine.
Ooh, but they go for the Muradin Sylvanas. Ready for interesting. Action.
Okay, it's totally not Diablo. I misclicked, so don't worry about that.
It should be Diablo.
It's not Diablo.
All right, so Tuark right now, they are up for their last 4th and 5th picks. They've got a support. They've got their warrior. Probably going to see a second warrior and a really strong ranged.
Has to be Vala.
At this point, Vala, maybe Sergeant Hammer.
No, it just doesn't do enough against this kind of comp. Muradin's too easy
Vala
to get in.
Probably, yeah. Vala makes sense.
Sylvanas will actually eat most Sergeant Hammers for breakfast. So what would you do for a double warrior? Tyrael.
Absolutely like a terrible breakfast. That's not part of a nutritious breakfast. So second warrior.
I don't think Tyrael. Maybe Sonya?
Tyrael might work. Sonya, not so much. Tyrael would be before Sonya.
Kael'thas Sylvanas are good meat for the Sonya. No, it's going to be ranged.
Single warrior. We haven't seen one of these in a while.
But it's the disengage again coming in from Tuark. They got Void Prison instead of Maw, which is, well, it's going to be a bit more chancier that way. But they got the Rainer for the pushbacks. And there's the double warrior that we were looking at.
Yeah, I've seen the Rek'Thar come in there from Momentum, and I really like this actually because you really want to slow people down, especially when they're dealing with the Vala and the Rainer. If you can catch one of those with the charge from Misha, you can probably land that into a lot of different stuns, gravity lapses, and just get that kill. I'm curious to see really kind of both these teams have pretty good compositions, I'd have to say, pretty much evenly paired.
So Tuark has a lot more disengage available to them, I feel like, but Momentum has a heck of a lot of crowd control. I mean, the Rexar bot, we got the Muradin, we got the Uther, Gravity Lapse coming into that as well, Kael'thas. It feels like Momentum, they don't necessarily need to win fights because they just need to threaten with Sylvanas on a lane. Sylvanas Rexar as a push lane is rather strong. They could also go the alternative way of Rexar Muradin for roaming potential. There's, Vala would have to use her cooldowns to get out. Rainer doesn't have a cooldown to get out. Malfurion could be easy pickings after Amisha's done. I think there's a lot of ways Momentum can go about it. And it is Cursed Hollow. Sylvanas by herself in a lane could be enough to draw 2 from Tuark.
So I really like double warrior on this map, if not triple warrior, just because when you're going into those curses, you can go for these really cool kiting compositions, but the problem with a kiting composition on this map is you have to press the issue on a tribute. if you're not able to break through their line to get to that tribute, it's going to be really difficult. And especially with the double warrior, you can block up 2 different choke points with those warriors and then just have your backline kind of shoot through. If you only have like 1 warrior there, they can get completely eliminated very quickly from, you know, the 2 backliners or even, you know, the full force of the other team. So it's a little bit weird to go for, I think, a single warrior on this map. But it depends on how they're positioned and if they really kind of take perfect advantage of those choke points. I think Momentum should be able to take this.
There is something to be said for Rexar as, you know, not a ranged damage, but he definitely adds the ranged element. And Misha is just such an extra bloody annoying tank.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, like a lot of these choke points could actually work into that favor. And Misha draws a lot of fire. I mean, you don't think about like just attacking her as a waste of resources, but if you're focusing Rexar, or if you're focusing Misha, not Rexar, not Murd, not Kael'thas, I mean, Misha's gonna come back in 15 seconds. That's a lot of free soak you can get for your team. It could be, 2Arc has to be very much on top of trying to avoid Misha as much as they can.
It's true. It's true. Misha is a really just great asset in any team, and we're actually seeing the game spawn up here. Curse Hollow going to be game number 1. Well, the only game because it's the best of 1. Spawning over here on the left-hand side, it's 2Arc yet again spawning as the blue team. Crone on Vala, Insomnia's Malfurion, Trader on the Rainer, LZ Gamer on that, Zeratul and Sunshine on Johanna.
Trader just dancing in that skin. It's fantastic. On the flip side, the guys that beat me 2-1 in Team League and have so far risen through this Go4Heroes tournament on the verge of semifinals. La Barbie, Hyun, Insider, Shuppler, Risen Bane. And who am I missing? Is that all 5?
Shuppler, Risen, Bane.
Either way, that's all 5.
La Barbie, I'm already.
I thought started with La Barbie. All right.
Did you? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. 5-man push. They're going to use Sylvanas and Misha just to tank as much as they can. It's going to catch 2Arc a little bit off guard.
Was a 4-hero push at first, but then Shuppler kind of joined in. Joined in the fray. Want to make sure you have your support there.
Yeah, there's not much Shuppler actually needs to do here. He doesn't need to be on that front line. But, you know, that 1 tower, you can already see a little bit. Now, this will impact their other lanes. Crone already up there. Nobody in the mid, though. But that 1 tower push, I mean, if they get any Giants early, like a Poke Soak game kind of occurs after that, it's going to be a lot of pressure bottom lane.
Yeah, and already we can see that they've completely evacuated that bottom lane as well, not getting any of the experience except for they've lost 2 of the minions worth of soaking here, and now they're going to have everybody kind of split up. In fact, look at the experience right now. They actually lost an experience here.
Oh, it's not an experience gain. It's more of a pressure thing.
Yeah, just pressure.
They really did use the Sylvanas push with the Misha, as I was expecting. Misha's now going to be soloing her lane, and I don't really think there's too much Vala can do about that one. She didn't go multi-shot build, and I think Risen Bane actually will win that one out without help. It's all about pressure. If we peel off at the 2-minute mark, they're going to be looking and hoping for a top lane tribute so that they can get both towers in that bottom lane.
Meanwhile, that bottom lane, it's going to be La Barbie versus Insomnia, which is Muradin versus Malfurion. Nothing's going to happen in that lane for quite a good amount of time. But this middle lane, we've got the triple warrior versus the double warrior. The Sunshine is really hurt, has to play a little bit more defensive for the time being. And it looks like for the, with that little pushing in that they've did in the mid lane, Momentum's going to go for a huge, oh, wow. LZ Gamer. That was close.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rotations between mid and bottom right now. And Rexar, again, he's holding his own up into that top lane. He's going to hit that well and come back. Shuppler's going to be okay, but LZ is going to take a huge hit. Did they relieve? Yeah, Muradin. Muradin's not actually going to be mid. They're trying to swap out the lanes again and just use the Sylvanas pressure. You notice that they have to follow Momentum Gaming. They're basically dictating this early game.
Yeah, they are. That's a really good point. It's just making sure that your opponents are following you instead of you having to follow your opponents. Whenever you're reacting, you're a little bit slower than your opponents. You're losing out on a little bit of that advantage. LZ Gamer going to do a little bit of damage there to Shuffler. We see level 4 coming on in here. We've got the Hungering Arrow build coming in there from the Vala. Focus attacks on both Rainer and Zeratul. A lot of auto attack coming in here from 2Arc. And then we're seeing actually Sylvanas go for Ranger's Ambush, which refills the charges of Withering Fire upon using Haunting Wave.
It's good for chasing. It's good for... ooh, LZ! He's going to blow up!
Draws first blood.
There it goes.
And that's first blood.
LZ got caught, it looked like, just by the rotations. And, LZ now out. The top lanes are actually still going to be up there as well. We can poke for a long time here between Insomnia and Trader. But, Red, this is kind of what they want. They want to prolong this phase because they got top soak coming in and they have all this pressure bottom and 1 tower's already down.
Right, and with that Sylvanas, we were kind of talking about this before. They can just get this other tower. But at the time being, they actually have to play a little bit safer. And with the Haunting Wave already spent, a lot of damage coming in there on Heyoon. Stays alive, some really nice healing there from Shuffler. Level 6 for both these teams, level 7 just a little bit far away for this tribute.
You're going for Trader. Or, well, okay, they should be going for Trader. There's the 1 stun, there's the 2 in the collapse. They already used the Adrenaline Rush as well. Barbie making sure that he used his mana for that. Again, top lane. Believe it or not, Risen Bane's kind of losing that one now, which is kind of funny. But at the same time, bottom is still getting pressed in very hard. The experience gain has resumed for the advantage here of momentum. And, well, eventually somebody has to get that tribute.
Yeah, and that's going to go on over here to Momentum. So that's a great pickup, and that's going to lead them into level 7, just a little bit before 2-arc. And it's not going to really net them that much of an advantage, but they are doing some really decent damage to this tower. Insomnia does have to go back for the time being. They are worried about the next tribute, I'm sure, making sure they have enough health, enough mana to deal with that.
So they've successfully gotten both those bottom towers. They had the first tribute. Momentum's feeling good. LZ is going to run into these guys, but it doesn't look like we're going to try to play whack-a-mole with the invisible Tassadar. And now, again, like the transition, they're back mid. They're just going to keep bouncing around these lanes, trying to just force 2-arc to dance to their dance.
And that's a really just, we keep talking about this. It's a good call. It's already paying off dividends. We see level 8 to level 7, though, right now Insider taking a good amount of damage. Trader trying to be hyper aggressive with that Rainer play. Sunshine throwing down that last little bit of condemn, but it's not going to be enough. Tribute coming now into the mid lane.
Level 7s on both sides. Repeating arrow in the Q build is done for Vala. The typical NA, Moonburn, Illune's Grace, Enduring Growth. Insomnia's down. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be able to get out of that. Condemn was trying to get a little bit of disruption in there, but it just wasn't enough. And that's going to lead over to another tribute going over here to Momentum. I don't think that there's any real way that 2-arc can come in here and really poke this down, especially with Misha being that really aggressive zoning force.
The Murden and the Zeratul going back and forth is, again, just working out fantastic here for Momentum, because Zeratul can't leave that lane without risking damage, and I don't think I saw a mule. No mules on the sides. No mule.
Sunshine coming in again. They're actually delaying this tribute a lot longer than I thought they were. Anytime Sunshine walks in, they just kind of ignore him. Try to go for Trader instead. Labarbi actually taking a good amount of damage, and that is going to be Labarbi falling there with the condemn. Just barely going to catch him right before that Dwarf Toss.
I thought he had the Dwarf Toss ready to go. I'm a little surprised that actually happened. Because now it's the reverse situation. Now LZ Gamer's getting free damage bottom, free soak, and this is going to put them actually back on top of the experience game.
It was really weird.
Yeah, I don't think Merida needed to come up there. I really don't.
I mean, I think he was just trying to delay the tribute for as long as possible, but I don't know if the tribute was worth that death.
Yeah, I don't think that was worth that at all. But I mean, hey, they got level 10 is going to be coming into it. It's 2-0 for the lead. Risen Bane, is he thinking of going to do the boss? Is he doing the bruisers? Nope, the timing is just not going to be there.
We're seeing the next tribute coming on up here, and this is third tribute. Third could possibly be a curse for Momentum Gaming. So
I don't think they're gonna go. It's on the 2-arc side. Yeah, this is a terrible spot for them to be fighting with their comp. These little choke points in and around, and already blue was in position, so they're gonna give it up. 2-arc should be going for boss. Yeah, they are. I'm gonna go for boss.
Risen Bane gonna throw down that flare. All of the enemy's secrets are now going to be eviscerated.
Okay, Hearthstone. What do we got for level 10s? Void, Hyperion, Trank, Strafe, Bless, Unleash the Boars again. No, I haven't seen a lot of Bestial Wrath.
I feel like it doesn't really work out so well, especially in the competitive scene. It's just, Misha's good, but I don't think that's really Misha's strong point. And Unleash the Boars is just so good at either peeling, chasing, or kiting. No, it's so incredibly versatile.
So 2-arc's deciding to defend. They really want to use this Void Prison to set up LZ Gamer. I mean, it's not exactly going to find a lot of targets here, Kev. So they will defend. They lost out the fort. Now, we did get one tower, and it looks like the rest of the ammo into this bottom lane. So they might actually just end up trading equally. But this tribute right here, I mean, Red basically has to go for it. I mean, I don't think they can spare anybody to go deal with the Golem.
No, and at this point, the Golem's going to be able to get a fort, but they've already taken one fort. And they can pick up a second. So it's a good trade, exactly. They get one fort, but they lose one fort to possibly picking up 2.
Yeah.
And with that, that's going to be pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a massive Void Prison coming in there from LZ Gamer. Hyperion coming in there, a lot of damage. Entangling Roots is going to be able to get some good crowd control. Risenbane is trying to get on out of here. He is the one that's in low health. The Hyperion just chipping away slower and slower. LZ Gamer trying to go for Shuffler now. Is he going to be able to get that kill? Is the question. The Dwarf Toss in the last second there from Labarby is going to save him, and that's a really great disengage coming in there from Momentum.
Yeah, that was actually, I mean, I can't tell you how many times it was so frustrating to take those kind of fights against Momentum when you play against them, but they are very good at reading how much potential damage can come in and who needs the priorities on shields and heals. But 2Ark showing the strength of their comp. That VP set up into the perfect roots. We had the perfect strafe, less shield on top of that as well. They're not going to be making that mistake again.
It's really scary, though, because they got that perfect setup, and look what happened.
They nearly won. Yeah, they nearly won the fight.
Nearly won, but they didn't. You know, like, if you get that perfect setup, that should be a complete stop. But they got their perfect setup, and nothing happened. One
of their strengths, man, I tell you. It's really frustrating to do that to you. But here we go. Attempt number 2 at pushing forward. Not a lot of heroics ready to go, but still, Phoenix is going to be able to do some work, and the roots are not going to exactly land. Every time, though, that Sylvanas wants to make this aggressive kind of play, the team just goes with it. You have to respond. Otherwise, you just end up losing all your stuff. And now look at this transition bottom. I think they could actually just take the fort after this.
If they press hard enough, we're starting to see 2Ark now come in. I'm curious to see if they're going to go for the aggressive collapse. Oh, the flare is there. They're going to know where LZ is. That's going to be a triple Void Prison. Unleash the Boars is going to slow everybody down just a little bit and trying to get the Condemned. Didn't quite get the timing off correctly, but the Entangling Root is doing a good amount of work. There is the Tranquility coming in as well from the Malfurion, trying to keep everybody up. Shuffler is going to fall here. Insider got the Divine Shield, but it's just not going to be enough. And in fact, this is the engagement that 2Ark was looking for. They pick up all 5 members of Momentum.
I don't think they counted on that Void Prison being up. Like, I understood that they wanted to go for this fort, and I think that they thought that they had enough time before another Void, but I mean, there it is, and that's the big danger of it. You collapse on top of that right there, and that is exactly as you said. That's what they wanted. They couldn't take it attempt number 1, but they can clearly take it attempt number 2. And this is going to be, what, 2-fort swing? We got Giants pushing into the top with the creep wave coming in. That will set up very nicely if they want to just kind of collapse on that.
And not only these 2 forts that possibly are going to go over to their side, but also level 16 is way, way closer for them than it is for their opponents on Momentum.
There's the 13 square.
That's going to be massive. They've already got 1 tribute, so they have to go through 2 tribute phases with this advantage, hopefully. But I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to at least get 1 tribute probably going over here. Even then, level 16 is pretty far away. I think at this point, Momentum can go for this fight.
Well, this is the Momentum's only chance at really taking a fight before that 16 comes in. LZ has 10 seconds on Prison, but he is going to get flared. So, I mean, we have a little bit of a leeway here from Momentum. They know that Zerto has to kind of go all the way around. Otherwise, he has to blink in. Could go down if he misses the VP. But I don't like their positioning. Momentum is really bunched up here.
They are.
Oh, he's going around.
Is coming on
here
up.
It is.
It's going to be another huge VP. I saw them close together, and LZ saw it too. Entangling Roots going down. There is the release on the VP, and the Hyperion is doing so much work. We're seeing Risenbane fall. We're seeing our Muradin fall as well. Shuffler is going to be another takedown. Insider going to fall as well. And that's only leaving Heyun up to survive, and that's not going to go so well for them. The boss just coming back up here as well.
Yep, that's going to be boss 100% going over to 2Ark. It's only going to be a Heyun up, and, well, I mean, if you had to have 1 defender, I would totally take a Sylvanas out of it, but those 16 towns come into it. 2 back-to-back major Void Prison fights. It's absolutely doing phenomenal work for 2Ark.
And look, the other boss, bottom lane, has spawned as well. They've got that level 16 talents. We've got the Holy Renewal, Blood for Blood, the Double Bombs, the Berserk, and the Hardened Focus coming in here for 2Ark. Yep. And this is just where they can just run around the map. In fact, I would assume they're going to go for the Siege Camp before they go for the next boss, because they're just in such an aggressive position. They're already here, and there's no way that we're going to see Momentum come in and try and go for a fight. And if they do, that's a mistake.
No, it's, well, we've seen quite a few mistakes already coming out of Momentum, but 2Ark, I mean, they've really shown the power of this comp. That Void Prison play coming in. Again, I'm really curious to see how this will affect rankings next patch. Insider almost getting blown up.
Entangling Roots going down there, but they are going to be able to get away from them. Not seeing the Tenacious Roots come out there from the Malfurion. Just going to go for the Hardened Focus.
and we
with
have
the-
to go deal with that boss, man.
Yeah, that's still there.
So we had we got the gate, and that gate now down. There's gonna be so much ammo missing from this bottom. It's just setting up so well for 2R, Kevin.
Look at this.
Yeah,
Tribute.
that is
Right
like
there.
that's a match made in heaven, sir.
The Raven Court Lord was just like,
Let's just let 2R win.
and that's exactly what's happening here. We're seeing 2R pick up the last tribute to lead to another curse here. And they've got their boss. Oh, wow. And we're seeing actually a very far forward team push from momentum. Is there going to be a Void Prison going down? It's
Not
the
yet,
question
not
here.
yet.
LZ
There
Gamer
it
looking
is.
for it. Tangling Root coming down, going to do a good amount of damage. We're going to see Insider be able to disengage, but for the rest of the team, that's not going to be so lucky. We see Rexar gonna fall. We see Shupler falling again as well. And they just move straight through to the keep.
Still got the VP in the pocket. I kind of expect to see a late blink over the wall to set up. They take down the gate and they go for it. But I mean, all that ammo drained to the bottom lane won't even matter because that cursed match made in heaven right there. So LZ, this is there it is. There's
Styling all over these kids. LZ just did some really nice fancy
That's-
blink
that's
play to
Sylvanas.
get that Insider kill. Is gonna pick up the
it.
Sylvanas. Yep, that's game.
Victor's 2-2 arc as once more we see why Zeratul is just banned so very often, Kevin. But 3 levels up, the keep, the core, and multiple bosses. Good game, well played. Going to the newly formed 2 arc as they will move on here to the semifinals. Fantastic stuff, man. Like those VPs. This was all Zeratul. LZ Gamers showing us why you have to ban Zeratul.
Or take him yourself.
It's crazy, man.
Or take Zeratul yourself.
If you're not first pick, I mean that's the whole stigma. If you're not first pick, you now we saw the Zeratul momentum probably were like we need to get triple warrior out of this, but they decided to take the Uther instead of the Mouth because 2 arc had another phase. You can't give the Uther to the Zeratul comp. So momentum by the end of it they did take the double war, but they just didn't have really enough counters to the Void Prison play.
Yeah, well, I mean, their counter should have been being completely split up. Unfortunately, didn't really work out so well. They just kept clumping up, and that was what LZ was just waiting for, those perfect moments for those Void Prisons, and he was on top of his game there, getting those Void Prisons down. So that's really all you need to do is make that mistake of just getting grouped up for even half a second, and LZ was taking perfect advantage of those situations, got those Void Prisons, set up for the beautiful team play, and our 2 arc was able to take it. So they're going to go up now against the winner of Dream State versus Nova Gaming. And other side of the bracket, we still got Bang Bang versus Pandorum Esports and
Pandorum?
Team Blaze Pandorum.
Pandorum.